Good evening, esteemed viewers. This is Satellite Media. Let us quickly look at the level of insecurity in Nigeria, sequel to what is happening in the northern part of the country, specifically as it has to do with a notorious bandit. I'm talking about Turji Bello, who, according to information in the media space, have since given the Hausa a serious warning that they will not have peace, that they will not farm. According to him, an allegation that is unverified that the Hausas have killed the Fulanis in the past, as such that they have to pay for it. But let us look at this from the angle of the responsibility of the government to protect lives and property. Let me start by saying that, however I look at it, the Turji Bello of a person is a non-state actor, and what he's doing have no place in a democratic setting like Nigeria. Nigeria, by all standard, is a sovereign state that ought to have monopoly of coercive power. But unfortunately, the government seems to be sharing this monopoly of coercive power with some non-state actors, including this notorious Turji Bello, that is Turji Bello, that is wreaking havoc in different parts of the country. We note with great dismay, utter dismay, when we saw the video where he allegedly seized vehicles, about 2 of them belonging to Nigerian army, though the military have come out to clarify that the vehicles were stuck. As such, they were demobilized before the bandits came and started celebrating that they have seized the vehicle. But however I look at it, I think this is a national or rather an international embarrassment, because however I look at it, if Nigeria, as it is a sovereign state, you have bandits, which the government through the army normally will call ragtag, holding territory, having Nigerians adopted in captivity. For me, I think the government need to rise to its occasion and do the needful. To do the needful is to protect Nigerians, to protect lives and property, because the constitution is unambiguous about the welfare of Nigerians and the protection of life and property. That is, of course, the very primary purpose of governance. I don't think any Nigerian, including myself, will take excuse, will accept any excuse from the government, from the military, that one Turji Bello is threatening the life of citizens, that one Turji Bello is wreaking havoc. I think it behooves on the government, the army in particular, to go all out for the Turji Bello, get him arrested, and bring him to book. Let him face the wrath of the law and explain to Nigerians. Because if you look at the issue of food insecurity in Nigeria, it is seriously tied to the issue of banditry. And the banditry, as it stands today, have somehow been tied around the Fulanis. And unfortunately, the Global Terrorism Index sees the Fulani as the 4th most dangerous terrorist organizations in the world. And here we are, under Muhammadu Buhari, we felt that the government was not handling it the way they ought to, perhaps because Buhari is from their ethnic extraction. But currently, we have someone in the saddle, a southerner, a southwesterner, who perhaps the bandits, if for any reason they enjoy some undue advantage under the former president of Muhammadu Buhari because of ethnic affiliation, should not enjoy the same under this current administration. But I think we note with commendation the recent order given to the military high command, including the Minister of Defense, to relocate to the theater of operation to see that they bring the situation to normal. But however I look at it, no country or her citizens will accept a situation where a non-state actor like Turji Bello will be wreaking havoc, disturbing farming communities, kidnapping, maiming, raping. I think if the government want Nigerians to take them seriously, if the army want the Nigerians to take them seriously, they should not leave any stone unturned in getting at that Turji Bello and bring him to justice. Because Nigerians deserve a peaceful environment. Nigerians deserve to coexist in an environment where there's no rancor, no issues of this nature. Because however I look at it, it behoves on Mr. President to protect life and property. Because Mr. President goes by the name of the Mr. President and the Commander of the Armed Forces. So for me, I think Mr. President needs to urgently address this issue before it gets out of hand. We are looking at food insecurity. I've said it before and I'm saying it again, because for me, it cannot be overemphasized. That I personally had an encounter with someone from Benue State, yes, who told me that he buy rice, beans, name it, from Lagos State and sent to his family in Benue State. And the reason he's doing this is not far-fetched, simply because his family have been in IDP camp for over 8 years. So that goes to show that it didn't start under this administration. But however I look at it, a Tinubu is in the saddle and it behoves on him to address it, because nobody will call in a Muhammadu Buhari to come and address the issue of insecurity currently. Hence, he have handed over the mantle of leadership to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And another issue we are looking at categorically is the alleged position of the Turji Bello himself, who, according to the media, is already asking that he wants negotiation with the federal government. Though Northern Elder Forum have come out clearly to make their position known, and they vehemently rejected it. And the government, for me, should assert their supremacy. Because the government, it doesn't matter how you look at it, should have monopoly of coercive power to deal with issues of this nature. It is not only when you have the issue of protesters who perhaps are not armed, who perhaps do not have what it takes to combat the security agencies, who may be observing their peaceful protests. You see the police hounding them, rounding them up, arresting them, intimidating them, charging them with treason and all that. This is where their responsibility is called to question. This is where they need to come out in full force to challenge someone like Turji Bello, who is challenging the sovereignty integrity of Nigeria. For me, he's undermining that sovereignty integrity, because for someone to be in the same country where you call a sovereign state, and he's perhaps holding territory, because you cannot say he's not holding territory since he's within the same sovereignty, having people, his supporters, his lieutenants, bearing arms, perhaps kidnapping, keeping people in captivity. Of course, I think the government should rise to the occasion and address it as quickly as possible, because no Nigerian deserves to be molested. No Nigerian deserves to be in captivity under this under democracy that we find ourselves. However I look at it, the government must rise up and possess monopoly of coercive power. Nobody is ready to accept whatever excuse the government is giving, because if you look at the ability to fund security, I don't think there have been any time when the government, whether under this administration or the previous administration of Muhammadu Buhari, or even a Jonathan or a Yaradua, will seek to borrow money or to source for fund to address the issue of insecurity. I have not seen any time anywhere, maybe National Assembly that had a mandate to give approval to appropriate, have always have turned down their request. So to that extent, if funding is not a challenge, and we have the DSA that had the mandate of intelligence gathering locally, we had the NIA that's have intelligence responsibility of intelligence gathering globally, we have the police, we have the army, name it. So I think at this point they should all synergize and make Nigeria a safe place for her citizens to do their legitimate business. Because I don't think any Nigerian will be willing and ready to applaud the government if we are seeing, I hope we don't go to that anyway, we are seeing government maybe giving an amnesty to someone like Turji Bello. Because you cannot, after killing Nigerians, after maiming Nigerians, raping Nigerians, denying them of peaceful environment, and start seeking negotiation with federal government. This is where the federal government needs to exert their supremacy and exert their power. However they want to do it, they must go all out and acquire monopoly of coercive power to coerce the likes of Turji Bello and his likes, and ensure that people in that area live a peaceful life and contribute their quota to the development of the country, and especially the farming communities like Benue that have been ravaged by serious level of insecurity. I think the government need to address all those excesses of headers who are reigning supreme in those areas. But let me quickly say that the issue of herders that we hit out to here in the north is gradually going into the southern part of the country. Even in Delta State, the local government or the former governor of immediate past governor of Delta State, I'm talking about Senator Ato Ifeanyi, where Fulanis are reigning supreme, even in some part of Eka South, the same thing is applicable. So you see that the military have an enormous responsibility in their hand to ensure that the country is safe for our citizens. I must say very big thank you for your time. I think this is a good place to let it go. I'm Mr. Matu, and this is Satellite Media. Until you call your way next time, remain blessed.